mic on. Ready when you are.
Good evening. This meeting is being held in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Annual notice of this meeting was published in the Union County Local Source and the Newark Star Ledger. Said notice was posted in the municipal building, and a copy is on file at the office of the Borough Clerk. Fire exits were in the direction I'm indicating. If you're alerted for a fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Proper notice having been given, the Borough Clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of the meetings. Roll call.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Johnson. Councilman Ravina.
Here.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Castellans.
Here.
Mayor Signorello.
Here.
Quorum, Mayor.
Clerk, please leave us open prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a motion to go out of order to consider Resolution 8226?
Mayor, so moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Clerk, please read Resolutions 8226 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 8226 is promoting Patrolman James Company to the rank of sergeant within the Roselle Park Police Department.
May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 8226?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Ravina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
Councilman Castellans.
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, 1 absent. The resolution is adopted, Mayor. He goes to the left. He goes to the left. So much. Other side.
Who's holding the Bible for you? Okay. Yes. Ready? Hello? Okay. I, James Company,
I, James Company,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
Thank you, Chief. And that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith,
and allegiance
allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
and under the authority of the people.
and under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
partially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
the duties of
the duties of
Police Sergeant
Police Sergeant
of the Borough of Roselle Park,
of the Borough of Roselle Park,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I just want to say a couple things. So, couple things. Stay on, Mrs. Company. So, I'm going to try to make it so. I'm bringing up some blasts from the past. So, back in 1980, it was senior cut day, and we're all down in Seaside Heights, and I graduated with a sister, and the sister somehow or another brought his chair was this big, and my chops were busted. I dare you sit in it. I sat in it and I broke it. So I owe you a chair from 46 years ago. But I also want to say that I knew Mr. Company, your father, and I know he's watching over you today. He was a fair man, a good man, back in the days where some police officers, and today they were tough, but your father was a fair, level-minded, good guy, and I'll never forget that. I don't know if he pulled me over, but it might have been his partner. But anyway, I just want to say congratulations, and I know he's watching you tonight. So.
Thank you so much.
I just want to welcome everybody here tonight. By the looks of the support here, you're definitely supported by all the rank and file, as well as some retired guys. I'd like to recognize some retired guys here. I haven't seen them in a while. Got Lieutenant Ted Dima, Lieutenant David Pitts, Detective Greg Masterson, Nick Vaughn. He left us early on. He didn't retire yet, but he's over in Piscataway. You got Lieutenant Wilgus, Lieutenant Hokinson, Traffic Officer James Cantrell, who just recently retired. You got Sergeant Owen Ungerman. Who else I got back there? You got Sergeant Aldo Constantino, Icon. I want to welcome you guys all here. I appreciate you guys coming in, and I know it means a lot to Jimmy and his family. Welcome to his family as well. I want to recognize Matt Nazaro as the Chief of Police of Cranford for being here tonight, and I know a close friend. But thank you, and I see some business owners that are here tonight. Nick Rajapi, thank you, and if I missed anyone else. Your cousin Richie is a Chief of Police in Parsippany. I wasn't aware of that. Welcome. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Thank you. So just a little bit about James. Sergeant James Company is a Roselle Park High School graduate. He went on to continue his education at the University of Scranton, where he earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in Finance, and at St. John's University, where he earned a Master's of Business Administration degree. Prior to his law enforcement career, James Company spent 8 years working in the financial industry. In 2004, Company was hired by the Roselle Park Police Department and attended the John H. Stamler Police Academy, where he graduated from class number 90. And following in his father's footsteps here, who was a retired patrolman with the Roselle Park Police Department. How many years did he do here? 27 years, so that's a nice tradition. Following graduation, he was assigned to the Patrol Division. In 2006, Patrolman Company was assigned to the Community Policing Unit. 2015, Patrolman Company was assigned to the Detective Bureau. 2019, Detective Company was assigned as a corporal in the Patrol Division. In 2019, Corporal Company was also appointed to the, and still sitting on the New Jersey Police and Fire Pension Board. New Jersey State PBA President Pat Colligan was the one who I believe anointed you on that. He was elected vice chair of the board and is currently the chairman of the board. That's a big accomplishment. For all you guys that are retired, see him afterwards. Make sure you're getting the right amount of money. If there's any numbers that are off, pick his brain. In 2020, Corporal Company was the recipient of the Roselle Park Police Department Officer of the Year of the SHIELD Award. Sergeant Company has instructed DARE in our schools and is one of our department's firearms instructors. He has served on the executive board of the Roselle Park PBA Local 27, being elected to the positions of treasurer, financial secretary, vice president, and currently president. He also serves as the sergeant at arms of the West End Club Community Center. Just to highlight Sergeant Company's dedication to his job and the department, he has not used 1 hour of sick time in the last 4 to 5 years. That says a lot. In high school too? Mom said in high school he didn't call out sick in high school either. We have to check the records on it. But Jimmy, I just want to congratulate you on this well-deserved promotion. I know you will continue to do a great job as a first-line supervisor. I know firsthand working with you, alongside of you, as your sergeant when I first made sergeant in the Detective Bureau, and as you progressed through the department. I have a lot of confidence in you. Obviously, you have a lot of respect of the rank and file, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. All right, yeah. Listen, you guys came to see me, so I'm going to talk. It's kind of, Chief, you sold my thunder. You said a lot of what I was going to say, so we're going to have to start over. But I will be quick. I'm going to give thank you, though, of course, to Chief Dominic Farino, Captain Wintermute, the entire department who is here. This is overwhelming. Thank you so much for everybody. Major Signorella, my mother, of course, my biggest ally. Always had an alibi for me when I needed one. Appreciate that, Ma. My beautiful wife, Laura, and my darling children, Luciana and Francesco. Life is funny, and I was thinking about what I was going to say when I stood up here, and I think I'm just going to be myself. So outside of my stunning good looks and my charming personality, I'm actually pretty humble. And this you can laugh, it's all right. This is one of those times, and I'm overwhelmed truly to see everybody back here. And again, the Chief mentioned everybody past and present. But I was thinking about, in general, we're always on the run, and it's always something that we're looking to do. Like, what is our plan? What do we have to do? We're always moving on to the next thing. And I think it's important to stop and appreciate what you have in front of you instead of trying to move on to that next thing. You know, there's a saying that says, people make plans and God laughs, because I think that's so true. We're so consumed with our own plans that we don't really think about what God has planned for us. So if you just indulge me for a couple more minutes, I promise I'll be brief, but I was thinking about this, and just want to give you a little color about how I actually got here to where I am today. So you look at, never in a million years did I think I was going to be a police officer, no less in Roselle Park, the town that I grew up in. And the Chief referenced my father, who worked here for a long time as well. But I went to school, went to college, worked in finance for a number of years, but I never really had, I never had that sense of fulfillment. I never thought, man, this is where I belong. And something was missing. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I turned 30 years old, and I call it like a Jerry Maguire moment. If you guys saw the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. He has a hard time, and he's thinking, where is his life going? And he makes a drastic decision. And that's kind of what I did. I said, I turned 30, I talked to my father, and I said, listen, Dad, I'm thinking about becoming a police officer. And he said to me, he says, Jim, if that makes you happy, then do it. And at the same time, I decided that Roselle Park actually was hiring. And I took the test, and I ended up getting on. And to me, that was the sign that I was looking for. It was just like so crystal clear at that point. So when you're involved in so many different things, you don't realize what's in front of you, but that was what I was looking for. And again, we talk about my father. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but he was a big influence on me and me in this profession. So he worked here for 27 years. He came on in 1969 and retired in 1996. So literally, the Roselle Park Police Department has been part of my life since inception. Okay, so I'm born and raised here. I live here now with my family. And again, in some way or another, the Roselle Park Police Department has been in my life, and I'm eternally grateful for the people and the men and women of this town and this department. So looking back at my father's career, he had a good career. I know he left a few things unfinished, and as humble as I am to be here today with you guys, the biggest part, the one thing I'm most proud of is finishing something that he started tonight. So these stripes on my arm, they're beautiful. I really love them. I'm proud to wear them. But honestly, they're not really mine. So I'm just really borrowing them. So I would never let him down, and I would never let you down either. With that said, thank you again. I appreciate everybody. I'm here, I'm committed, and thank you so much for sharing in this small moment in my life with you guys, and thank you for allowing me to be here with you. So.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Sergeant.
Yeah, of course. Just gonna move that podium so it's not like we're in front of space. Yeah, no problem. Good here. You know what I mean? Yeah, because that's what happens with stuff like that. You know where we are, right?
Yep. There are no communications for review this evening. There are no proclamations, presentations for review this evening. There are no meeting minutes for review this evening. May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and pass for payment?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you'd like to speak, please come. Huh?
So we just give them a minute to get
Yeah.
the place empty?
No.
So they had a crane there the other day.
Just looking at the,
Bill's got. Yeah, Bill's got.
okay. If you would like to speak, please come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
Let's turn the mic on,
Yep.
Bill.
Okay, there we go. Bill Cross at 412 Galloping Hill Road. Just would like to get clarification on 2849, permits and fees and inspections and fees. in here, it did say 1 or 2 family residential. Does that mean somebody's going to come in and inspect whenever they get around to it, and we got to pay another fee?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, please. Mr.
It's non-owner occupied. So they're income-based properties.
Okay. So if I was to sell, someone would have to pay the inspection for the new person?
If you had a 1 or 2 family house that you were renting out as a business,
Okay.
that's what it pertains to, not for the average resident.
All right. Thank you.
Seeing no one seeing no one further, may I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So I'm going to go, yeah. I'm accepting, you may have a motion to accept the reports of the departments as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There are no ordinances for second reading this evening. Mr. Clerk, read ordinance number 2849 by title.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2849 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 22, Section 1, subsections 13 and 14 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Required Inspections and Fees and Permits and Fees.
I have a motion to approve ordinance 2849 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as April 2nd, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
Councilman Castellans?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, 1 absent. The ordinance is introduced.
Mr. Clerk, please read ordinance 2850 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2850 is an ordinance amending ordinance number 2838, fixing the salary ranges of non-union employees and officials of the Borough of Roselle Park and the County of Union, State of New Jersey.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance 2850 for introduction?
So moved.
Second.
Hold on, you beat me to it there.
Sorry.
That's all good. And the date for second reading on public hearing, April 2nd, 2026. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
Councilman Castellans?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, the ordinance is introduced, Mayor.
Mr. Clerk, please read ordinance 2851 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2851 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 24 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Establishment of the Police Department.
I have a motion to approve ordinance 2851 for introduction and fix the date for second reading, public hearing as April 2nd, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
Councilman Castellans?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Mr. Clerk, please read ordinance 2852 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2852 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 7, Section 39, subsection 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Handicap Parking on Streets for Private Residences.
I have a motion to approve ordinance 2852 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as of April 2nd, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Ravina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
Councilman Castellans?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Thank you. All matters are listed with an asterisk, are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council, and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which the case the item may be removed from the consent agenda and considered its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Yes.
Mayor, Resolution 80-26 is memorializing the automatic renewal of the shared service agreement with the town of Westfield for public health services for calendar years 2026 and 2027. Resolution 8126 is establishing the 2026 summer hour schedule for Borough Hall. Resolution 2326 is authorizing appropriation transfers. Resolution 8426 is awarding a professional services contract to Phoenix Advisors LLC for financial advisory services in support of existing 2026 pilot billing and monitoring in an amount not to exceed $18,000. Resolution 8526 is authorizing the treasurer to issue one check totaling $3,854.23 payable to one lien holder on one property and one check totaling $2,900 from the tax collector's premium account. Resolution 8626 is appointing Mackenzie Dow as a fire inspector within the Roselle Park Bureau of Fire Prevention. And Resolution 8726 is authorizing the hanging of a two-sided banner in Michael J. Morey Park advertising the 2026 Feast of St. Anthony.
Do any members have items that need to be removed from consent agenda? May I have a motion to approve resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to start with the Borough Council committees. Start with Councilman at Large.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, colleagues, residents of Roselle Park. I'd like to start my report by just going over a couple things that happened, and please excuse my absence. I was out of the country at the time of the last council meeting. On February 11th of 2026, I attended Congresswoman McIver's mobile office hours here at the Cassano Center. It was a great event where the Congresswoman had some staff from her office present to answer questions and help residents with any particular cases that they had in situations with departments of the federal government. On February 21st, 2026, I was fortunate to attend the New Jersey League of Municipalities newly elected officials orientation. It was very eye-opening. I've worked in government for many years and had a lot of experience, but just the depth of things that have to be done from a government perspective is pretty staggering. So it was a great orientation and refresher for me on those matters. On March 11th, we had a meeting of the Finance and Administration Committee chaired by Councilman Petrosky. We attended that to start looking into the budget process, and that was fruitful and informative for me. And then on March 11th, 2026, had a meeting regarding development proposal that's been going on in the borough and trying to work on moving things along. That was pretty much a recap of what happened. And then obviously today, as many of you know, I've seen on our street or in social media, we had a situation over at 243 East Westfield Avenue, former laundromat site, and building eventually partially collapsed and then was subsequently demolished. I wanted to give, I guess, some background because there's a lot of questions from residents as to what's going on and what's happened. So for context, at the time this property came up, I was the chairman of the Zoning and Planning Board and sat through the hearing for this application. So I'll give some context here. The property has sat abandoned and vacant for, I honestly don't know, but well over a decade. I mean, it's a long time, and it's been a blight on our community for a long time. The property went up for sale in 2023. Obviously, it's a private transaction. It was listed by the property owner through a brokerage, and there was a purchaser. They closed on July 3rd of 2023. So we're talking 2.5 years at this point. That property owner was Payas Properties LLC. They applied to the Land Use Board, and we heard the application on August 19th of 2024. So approximately a year after purchase. And this is typical because of there's a lot of plans and professionals that need to go through a process to appear in front of the board. The land use application included some revisions, but the ultimate approval was granted for a company called Junior Glass. They have a location in Roselle presently. He's a home improvement contractor, and his goal was going to put a showroom essentially on the first floor of the property, showing kitchens and bathrooms and home improvement things. And then the second floor was approved to be office space for the for his own use, as well as one 2-bedroom apartment. Not more than that was approved because of the concern with parking. Berwyn suffers from a lot of issues with parking. They wanted to do more density there. We pushed them back on it. We granted one because we felt that it was better to do something on that site. It's just been such a blight. And given the nature of his business being more of an appointment only, not a high-trafficked business, we felt it was the best that we could do. And you know, as a borough, we don't have much of a say as to who purchases a property or not. So that happened on August 19th, which means that their second hearing would have been in September of 2024, and then resolution compliance and appeal period would have run them to the end of 2024. At that point, they had to work on submitting permits to the construction department to get actual construction work done at the property. My understanding is that in early 2025, the owner suffered a heart attack, and at some point, the former mayor asked me if I can help to say, hey, what's going on? Can we get something done with this property? It's such a blight. People have been complaining about it. When I reached out to the people from the owner's side, that's when I found out about the heart attack and was like, well, okay, I guess, you know, you got to understand that and kind of wait and see what happens. Ultimately, in the fall was the last communication I had where they submitted their permits to the construction department and the construction official gave a letter saying we need certain things. And the last letter came in November of 2025 from our construction official saying you need revisions because of X, Y, and Z. The technical stuff can be pulled from the construction department, but essentially they were not issued permits yet because they needed some revisions. My understanding was that was the last that happened. I was absent at our last council meeting, but I did see the recording, and I know that Councilman Johnson as well as Councilman Rabina, and generally a lot of people have been asking what's going on with this property and asking our construction official to get an update on the property. From my recollection, there was no comment of a imminent safety concern. It was more of a, hey, this is a hazard and an eyesore, more or less. I also spoke with our property maintenance, and I know that the owner was cited at least on 2 occasions for property maintenance violations, and they appeared in front of municipal court and were given fines and remediated accordingly. And I know that our construction official also requested that they put up a fence, safety fence around the property at some point, and they complied and did so as well. So at every point in time, the borough has requested certain things of them, and they've done it. I know that it was requested at the last meeting that they follow up, and Mayor, I'll ask you at the end of my comments, but I believe you followed up and had a conversation with the owners as recently as Monday. I'll ask at the end I'll yield my time at the end. My understanding is that today, earlier this morning, as reported by some of the neighbors, there was workers on site and were doing some sort of work that disturbed the structure, and they were trying to prop it and hold it up with some sort of rope or something. I mean, it's comical how bad, and obviously that led to the collapse of the property. So I just want to make sure that we note that this was not something that happened due to some negligence of sorts. This was somebody that did something on the property, disturbed it, and caused this to happen. Our fire department, our police department, our construction official, everybody responded. I went on site today. I met with the construction official, and I applaud our police department and fire department for making sure everybody was safe. Thank God nobody was hurt. And then our private contractor, Mr. Cola Contracting, was called in to do the demolition because it was deemed to be unsafe structure at that point. The property has now been demolished. I drove up there and took a look at it right before the meeting, and it will be backfilled with some sort of stone, essentially, and a fence will be kept up. As far as the future of that project, I'm not certain. That's more of a question for the construction official, but I felt because of all the questions going on today, it was important to give that context. While the property has been vacant for many, many years, really it's been about a year and 4 months or so that the owner has had approvals to do something. And that seems like a long time, and it is. You know, there are people who move faster, but as a borough, we can't necessarily influence those things. There's monetary things with how much these things cost. Obviously, the gentleman had health issues, which obviously are outside of their control. And I'm glad that nobody was hurt, and I am happy that the thing is down and demolished properly, and it's not going to be an eyesore now. So wanted to give that as part of my report. And then Mayor, just ask if you can tell us a little bit. My understanding is you met with the property owner as recently as Monday following the request for more information.
So we all had a nice dialogue about 2 properties 2 weeks ago, and I went to Mr. Blue's show inquiring, and the clerk also gave me some information. Real brief about the Walnut Street property. We're moving along to do what we got to do to get that building done or fixed or whatever. And I got the phone number at 9:37 Monday morning. I talked to a woman, and I explained who I am, the new mayor, my son was the mayor, so on and so forth. It needs to be addressed, and please see if you could do something. I wish best luck for her. I hope the business prospers and be successful, but it's time. And it was just, we needed to do something. This morning, real brief, I went to church this morning, and the neighbor lives to the right, and I'd rather just not say her name. She called me this morning, says, "Hi, Joe, the building next door, it looks like it's moving." And I said, "I can't come to around 12 o'clock. And then, boom, I was in this meeting, and then I heard the fire department get dispatched. So all the above, they were in there doing something without anybody to know. And it is what it is now, and we'll move on and hope for the best for whatever. So that's all I have to finish your report.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, for the commentary. The last thing I will say is, as council people, and my real estate experience will tell you, like, we always want things to move faster, but there are certain limitations to what we can do. But safety is number one, and I applaud the mayor for reaching out and trying. There's only so much we could do, and I do believe that the construction official was even beginning to advise and look into what condemnation looks like, because after a certain point, there's something else that we could do. But at no point did we believe, from my understanding, that it was a safety or imminent hazard until they did something to disturb the structure. So I'll conclude with just saying, for all the residents, and there's been a lot of other things. Unfortunately, obviously, this happened today, and I think it was important to address it. Thank you for all the residents that have reached out, and my email is jcastelins@rosellepark.net. Still haven't learned my new phone number. It's 908-661-2837. I'm here available for any resident that needs any help. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Councilman. Councilman Petrowski.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to send my condolences out to Barbara Powers, Walter Pagoda, which I was friends with Walter, and I called him Wally. He grew up in Roselle Park. I remember him as a young kid playing baseball and, all the sports in town. So, and also Eileen Ike Camarada, who's a 1975 graduate. On March 7th, I attended the St. Patrick's Day celebration at the Cassano Center, which was very crowded, and the food was good, and everyone seemed to have a good time. Again, Ruben did a great job with this and his staff. This 11th was a recreation meeting. We discussed the Easter egg event, which will be April 4th at 11:15 at the high school. It's toddlers to 5th grade. The event will definitely start at 11:30. There was a little mix-up last year with the way the flyer went out, so some people came like 20 after 1, and they were all wrapped up. So the Recreation Committee would like you to get there as early as possible, because we don't want to turn anyone away, and actually everything was cleaned up, and there was people showing up. But it's down as 11:15, and it will start at 11:30. It's going to be at the high school field, which is called Field D, which is right by the concession stand on Colfax Avenue. And the rain date is April 11th, and bring your own basket. Again, I want to thank Tina, who does a great job and organizing all this, and hopefully it's a big hit and everything like that. Then I had a budget meeting. I'm hoping Ken has them magic fingers, as he always does. I know it's going to be a kind of like a rough year, but I got faith in you, Ken. Okay. On the 17th, we had the sweeper meeting with our business administrator. I can't believe he scheduled a meeting on St. Patrick's Day, but he actually told me he's 25% Irish, so Okay, so, so we have it scheduled. It's out on the website. We're going to try this, and if it don't work, then we'll be back at the another meeting trying to discuss it. The 19th, which was today, I attended the joint sewer meeting. Again, I know one of the elevators are broken down, so they're going to get it fixed, and then there's ordering parts for the coming year of 2026. I want to wish everyone who celebrates a happy Easter, happy Passover. This Sunday will be Roselle Park's 125th birthday. There's going to be a little get-together at the Cassano Center, starting at 11 o'clock. I know Ruben said to me that, and I want to thank him for helping me organize this. We're going to have cake and everything there, and and wishing Roselle Park a happy 25th birthday. I want to send a congratulations to Lucia Ranieri. She became a state champion at 126 pounds. Okay. Last year she took a third as a freshman. This year she's a sophomore. Just to go back in history, and I've been following wrestling since I was a little kid. Roselle Park hasn't had a state champ since 1953. Many kids came close, quite a few seconds, thirds, and everything. I've been, like I said, following, and I know the mayor's been following it too, and everything. And we came close, but just a quick little story. When I worked for the county, I was a big supporter of Roselle Park sports, and I always gave the guys the business. And so other towns, there was a couple kids wrestled when they were high school, and they always said to me, Roselle Park had a great wrestling program, but they could never win the big one. And I wish I was still working for the county, because I like to give them back to them. We finally hit the big one. Okay. I want to congratulate Lucia's father and mother, her sisters and brothers, her grandparents, aunts and uncles. Coach, her father was the coach at the high school for many years, and actually we're setting something up and bringing her in, the wrestling teams, the best. We had a girl that scored 2,000 points in her career. It was never done before, which is a great accomplishment. So we're going to bring her in. There's the kids in the recreation program is wrestling this weekend. So as soon as we know what's going on, we'll set up a meeting. Hopefully it'll be the second meeting in April. And I also want to wish everyone a happy St. Joseph's Day, especially you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Same to you, sir.
And everything. If you need to contact me, get me at jpotrosky@rosellepark.net, 908-666-7821, and that's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Lyons.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and Roselle Park residents, and hi, Mommy. I have to say hi to my mom. Thank you so much for your reports, gentlemen. They were awesome, and it's great to just hear you and be encouraged and be reminded by all of that. And I just also want to send my condolences to Wally Bagoda's family, Lori Caruso, and their son Joey. They actually live close to me, and my heart goes out to you all, and you're definitely in our thoughts and prayers. And also congratulations to Lucia, I call her, Lucia Ranieri. What a beautiful name, just powerful. It was so awesome to see all the celebrations, and Roselle Park just really welcoming her and everybody home. It was awesome, and I love that. I hope Roselle Park has more of that. Women's History Month is still going on. It's March. We did have the women's celebration and acknowledgement at our last council meeting, and it was just an honor to celebrate the women and the nominees and to celebrate Faith Odat as Woman of the Year. And I just look forward to working with Faith and just, continuing on in the things that we do in Roselle Park. And as Tina's here, Tina, you were awesome, and it was fun to do things with you, and we're still going to do things together. But that's what it's about, really acknowledging and celebrating women and just being united, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And also, I actually hosted our 4th Women Celebrating Women dinner at Costa's restaurant. And I just want to thank Nicola, and he was just great to us again. And it was a powerful night, and it was lots of laughs and food and just getting to support each other. And I just thank every woman that came out. I also was invited to the National Junior Honor Society at the middle school on March 11th, and it was powerful. Carrie Lynch actually invited me, and it was just really inspiring to see middle school students just be caring and volunteering and just using every part of what they're going to be doing in school and out of school and being part of that society. I really am encouraged to see our youth gather that way, and it was powerful to see. I actually attended the library board meeting today's Thursday, last night, and just go on their website. They have so much going on. They have so many things for kids and adults. And just as a reminder, we do have a notary on site. There are 2 on site, and it's just, if you need something, go to the library for it. Just to backtrack a little bit, I did attend the St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. The St. Patrick's celebration at the Casano Center. It was just awesome. We had the Joe Caraselli band. Everybody was dancing and eating and just having a really good time. And I just want to say something to Phyllis DeCecco. If you're watching, she is such a delight, and she's so powerful. And I want to say she's going to be 94, if I'm not mistaken, in this summer. But she is a radiant light. And when I say that to her, she just lights up and she says, do it because you're happy. She says, I do it for myself. She gets dressed up. She really is so vibrant, and she's very encouraging. So I just wanted to say hi to you, Phyllis, and just I appreciate you so much. And I'll end with this. Today, so the Iorio Deli is going to be closing tomorrow. They're going to be having their last day. Gilda, the boss, and Joe Diorio, after 47 years of hard work and dedication and really, really being such a blessing to this community. I actually went there today. I was able to give her proclamation for being a nominee as Woman of the Year. And she was already Woman of the Year a couple years ago. And she is just also a bright, vibrant soul. And she just encouraged me, but I brought her St. Joseph pastry. I didn't bring them tonight, but I did bring them to her. I'm sorry. I owe you.
I had so many.
But I talked to Joe, and I just thanked him for everything, and they are going to be on a different season and just enjoying life. And we just want to say thank you from Roselle Park. We love you, and we thank you for everything that you really poured your heart and soul into Roselle Park, and I just appreciate you all. If anyone needs me, please, my cell number is 908-726-8773, and rlyons@rosellepark.net. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Councilwoman. Councilman Patel?
Councilwoman.
Oh, Councilman.
Good evening. Congratulations to Lucia Ranieri on winning the state wrestling championship. Good job and best of luck in the future, champ. The Environmental Commission is hosting its next Repair Cafe this Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. at the Casano Center. Residents are encouraged to take advantage of this free event by bringing their worn and broken items for repair by volunteer fixers. If you'd like to volunteer, please contact the Environmental Commissions. All skills are welcome. Gilda, the boss, is officially retiring tomorrow at Iorio Deli. Tomorrow is the last day in business, closing at 2 p.m. Do not go afterwards. You get yelled at. We thank you for your service to the community for 47 years. The new owners are going to continue operating the deli under the new name of Cassandra's Deli. If you need to get in contact with me, you can email me at capita@rosapark.net or call me at 908-726-8774. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Rabina, please.
Appreciate it, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, colleagues, and residents of Roselle Park. On March 6th, I attended the pre-construction meeting for the Faytoot Firehouse expansion. We're looking at a start date between mid-April and early May, with a groundbreaking expected in the coming weeks. The next day, I attended the New Jersey Bike and Walk Summit. A big takeaway was the shift away from isolated bike and pedestrian projects and toward building connected corridors that link neighborhoods, parks, schools, and transit. That's exactly the direction we've been pushing here in Roselle Park. Work is also continuing with the Rails with Trails concept between Locust and Laurel. On March 11th, I met with the mayor and borough administrator regarding the bike path extension. I'm glad to say we're moving forward, engaging our professionals on design and engineering, and starting to formalize agreements. On March 13th, I joined discussions with the New Jersey Trails Action Network around the Parks to People Active Transportation Act, sponsored by Congresswoman McIver. There are also two statewide efforts underway, a Trails Playbook and a Bike and Pedestrian Master Plan, both of which line up with what we're working on here locally. The bigger picture here is reducing reliance on cars and building safer, more connected infrastructure, especially with fuel prices approaching $4 a gallon. Last week, I also dropped off the Street Smart signage that I talked about in the previous meeting to Officer Cott for continued supporting pedestrian safety. On Monday, PSE&G held a meeting at Borough Hall regarding upcoming work. I wasn't able to attend, but I've been briefed. Test pits are part of the process. They're coming again, West Colfax, and full restoration is expected. On Tuesday, I attended the Somerset County 4-H Soil Conservation Conference in Bridgewater. There was a lot of useful information on stormwater management, conservation, and even funding opportunities. In fact, earlier today, we discussed pursuing a grant for a rain garden project, which is something we can realistically bring here to the borough, and specifically at Boy Scout Park. That same day, I stopped by Dowling's, Frenchie's, and Sun Tavern to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Sun Tavern is marking its 35th anniversary this year, which is a great milestone. And while we hear about businesses closing or relocating due to raising rents, it's just as important to support and recognize the ones that continue to invest and support Roselle Park. Quick update on Crossfield. With snow out of the way, Lombardo Construction has begun staging for demolition, and soil testing has been completed. We're expecting preliminary results by middle of next week. Over the last few weeks, residents have reached out about torn flags at our parks. Those have since been replaced at Lamonaco Perry and Loretti. We've also continued to get complaints about wrong-way driving on Hazel Street between West Roselle and Colfax. We've made improvements there, but now we're taking the next step with a demonstration project in partnership with Easy Ride and NJTPA. This will include temporary curb extensions and traffic calming measures, and we're looking at a similar approach for Myrtle and West Lincoln. You should start seeing that take shape this year. This Sunday, after the borough's birthday bash at the Cassano Center, I encourage everyone to stop by my place, Studio One, the former Marconi, Karaguzian, and Romarovsky site, for the unveiling of the Marconi wireless plaque. It recognizes a really important piece of our local history, and it's worth taking the time to check out. Looking ahead, our borough-wide spring cleanup is scheduled for Saturday, April 18th at 10 a.m., with a rain date of Sunday, April 19th. Volunteers will meet at the Cassano Community Center. First 10 groups of 10 will receive a $500 stipend. You can register on the borough website or reach out to our Clean Communities Coordinator, Deb DeCosmo, at dcosmo@rosellepark.net. As Chamber Liaison, I also want to mention an upcoming event at Spencer Savings Bank at 5 Points on March 26th. It's a great opportunity for local businesses to learn about new benefits through the Chamber, including access to health insurance and retirement plans, even for businesses with just one employee. And I want to give a quick thank you to resident George Burke, owner of Allowing Realities Through Art, Chamber member. He redesigned the Chamber's membership brochure at no cost. So that's what community support looks like when you give back. and we appreciate that. On a high note, congratulations to Ms. Ranieri on becoming the 2026 NJSIAA Girls Wrestling State Champion at 126 pounds. With a 43-1 season, she brought home a state title and made history as Roselle Park's first wrestling state champion since, like Councilman Petrosky mentioned earlier, 1953. It's an incredible accomplishment.
Wow.
Before I close, just a quick reminder, while we stay focused on local issues, there's a lot happening in the world right now. Take a few minutes to review your emergency plans, sign up for alerts, and stay aware, whether that's online or during your daily commute. And finally, yet again, I ask that we all take a brief moment of reflection for the service members who have lost their lives, those who have been injured, and the families who carry that burden. We are grateful for their service and sacrifice. As always, I can be reached at jrubina at rosellepark.net, 862-236-0019. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thanks, Councilman. So I'm not going to be brief tonight. No. So I'm going to be happy St. Joseph's Day to all. I just want to say I attended the St. Patrick's Day celebration at the Casano Center. The corned beef was delicious. Everybody says that once or twice a year. I could eat it about 12, 14 times for 2 weeks, and then this Sunday I'll be done. So I love that. I enjoyed going to the parade on last Saturday. St. Patrick's Day Parade. Second time I've been there in a bunch of years. Enjoyed. Weather was good, a little windy, but enjoyable. I'd like to make a brief about Chichi, Lucia. Congratulations. Know the family my whole life, and my grandfather and her great-grandfather and my grandfather were friends. It couldn't happen to a better, well-deserved family. The Ranieris have been helping out wrestling for at least 50 to 60 years that I can remember. Wow. Congratulations to them. Tomorrow, I'll be hoping to seeing Gilda, God bless, in her retirement. I'll be going there at 12 o'clock tomorrow. I was supposed to be going with Congresswoman MacGyver, but she can't make it tomorrow, and one of her chiefs of staff will be coming, and we'll be giving a nice proclamation from Congresswoman MacGyver. So one of the things, you heard my little report about before with Councilman Coslin's about Westfield Ave and Walnut Street. We had a healthy discussion 2 weeks ago, all mayor and council, and we're moving along to get this stuff remediated and taken care of. But one little thing I want to talk about, everybody's been bothered about. But 2 weeks ago, I got a phone call that Chestnut Hardware, the owner has been asked to leave, and I believe by May 1st. So I found out who the owner was. I had to sit down with him. We had a little chat. Let's just remind everybody, this is a private matter, and this is the owner's decision to do what he wants to do or not want to do. I had a little chat with him about how come and why, what's your plans for the business, what would you like to do, and why. And have you come to the Borough of Roselle Park, to the construction department, to ask what my vision is and what would I like to do at the business? And there's a process of getting permission to put a business. I do believe he was there. He tried to get a day spa and it was turned down. I told him, sir, go to the construction department and have a vision before you want to kick this guy to the street. And I asked him maybe he could delay it, give him to December 31st, or work with this individual to hope and help them stay. Again, it's a private matter, but I've been in dialogue with him. I've had some dialogue with him once or twice, 3 times. I'm hoping for the best. Again, last but not least, he can do what he wants to do. It is his privilege and his business to do what he wants to do. So hopefully we get it resolved. Hopefully we have a hardware store there for another 75, 73 years, but who knows? Anyway, last but not least, I'd like to pleasure that as we celebrate the 125th anniversary of Roselle Park and Cooperation, we are just looking back into our history. We're planting the seeds of our future. I'm proud to officially launch 125 Trees for 125 Years initiative, a borough-wide effort to bring 125 new trees to the streets we walk and the front yards we share, ensuring that the park remains a vibrant part of our home for the next century. This is a community-driven project, and we want these trees to take root right where you live. If you would like a new tree planted in the borough right away in front of your home, please visit our DPW service request portal on the borough website and submit a formal request. Our team will handle the evaluation and planning and allowing all of us to work together to make our neighborhoods greener and more beautiful as we honor this incredible milestone in our town's history. So, looking forward to that. So, other than that, you need to get a hold of me. It's jsignorella@rosepark.net, 908-721-6488. Thank you for everybody tonight's reports. I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you'd like to speak, please come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
Is this on? Okay. Hi, Al. How you doing? So good to see you. I came here last time to thank you for
Name,
memorializing. Oh, sorry, Ellen Margarita.
yes.
I
Thank you.
live in Roselle Park. I wanted to thank you for memorializing Al with the proclamation, is it, or the resolution to name the rail trail, Al Memorial Rail Trail. I thanked Jay. He was here, was able to thank, yes. So I'm glad I got to see you tonight. So I'm following up because last time I was here, I understood you guys said we could consider getting the Girl Scout Bridge replaced at Girl Scout Park. Is there any progress on that?
Excuse me. I believe it's in the DPW yard. It does need some work. I have talked to Greg B. for some repairs, and I don't want to say it's going to happen tomorrow because I'd be lying, but I know we're going to try to get it back to the Girl
Okay,
Scout
so
Park.
we have an event May 30th. So it would be great if we could have it there for May 30th. I didn't know if that would work. And then, Jay, I know Andrew might be talking to you about that ANJAC grant, the $1,500 grant for trails and parks. I know you might consider using it for the rain garden, but would you be able to, it said for improving parks, could you use it towards the Girl Scout Bridge?
I didn't read the grant, so I don't know.
Maybe consider that. I don't want to take it away.
It's an environmental stewardship grant, so I doubt it.
You doubt it? I mean, it would go a lot further for the girls, for the scouts, than a rain garden. A lot more usage out of that bridge, my opinion, but,
Shoot your
Okay.
shot, Ellen.
Okay.
what?
Shoot your shot, Ellen.
The other thing is, I wasn't going to mention this because I forgot, but you brought up the flags. The two flags at Girl Scout
I
Park.
didn't, Councilman.
Oh, somebody brought up replacing the flags. Oh, was it you?
Monica Perry and
Yeah. The two at Girl Scout Park are tattered in the, blowing off the poles. So I think they should get replaced. One's the American, one's the New Jersey State.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, April 25th, we're having the Arts Festival, right? In town, Saturday, April 25th. That morning before the festival, we're hoping to unveil the second half of the mural that was done on Sunrise Documents by Frenchies. And it's going to have a likeness of Al Wolkoff somewhere in the design. And we're hoping that it'll have the title, Al Wolkoff Memorial Rail Trail, in the design also. So you might be hearing from, I'm with the Union County Connects group that is trying to promote this rail trail. So you might be hearing from me inviting you to come to that unveiling. That would be fantastic, especially Councilman Patel, right? That's your ward? Yeah.
Right.
No, it's your ward. Wait, that's you. Oh, sorry,
Fifth
Jay.
ward, fifth ward.
Oh, Jay, you're gonna be there no
I'm
matter
gonna be
what,
there.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But we would love everyone else to come that day. It would be in the morning, probably around, I don't know if it'll be 10 or 11, I'm not sure.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, okay, and maybe we'll go to Frenchie's after.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a good
thanks,
night.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ellen.
Do I have a motion to close the public portion of on any subject?
So moved.
1 second, Mayor. Mayor, there's somebody.
Oh,
Strike that move.
I'm getting used to a little rhythm here now, moving along. Yeah, sir.
Bill Crossett, 412 Galloping Hill Road. First, I wanted to thank the councilman for the report on that building today, but it brings something to everybody's attention. That building's been an eyesore and looked like it was falling down for years. Romarovsky, not much better. The Chevy dealership was falling down. Why does the town allow this to happen? They wait until something collapses before they take action. We've got a construction department, we got a police department. If they see something, somebody's got to go find out who the owners are and say, hey, what are you doing? And granted, yes, in this case, it was sold, but he got sick, didn't do anything. Whoever his partners were didn't do anything, but the town didn't put pressure on them. So,
May I?
sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, couple things. Number one is, if there's a report of a building that's unsafe, either PD, FD, or construction official, or all of them will come out to look. If in fact they notice that it can be deemed an unsafe structure, and then at that point we can take action. There's different things we can do. The municipality can have it, either you have the owner demolish it or make it safe, or if it's an imminent thing, we have the purview to demolish it and then pass the bill as a lien onto the property. And forgive me, I'm not an expert, but I do have some knowledge in the field, so if I made a mistake, somebody please correct me. But we can do something if there is an imminent danger, for sure. The problem with some of these things is we might confuse a blight with a danger, and while it looks like it's dilapidated, it may not be an imminent danger, right? And I can point to, not to defend anybody, but I could point to some properties that have fallen into disrepair and they look horrible, but it doesn't give the borough the right to,
Right.
knock it down.
No, I get that.
But we do have property maintenance ordinances where we can cite violations to make people comply. And we did that with this
Yes,
property,
you did.
and they went in front of the court twice. So to say that there wasn't a pressure, I personally reached out and I went through like different channels to find out who the owner was. I found the realtor of the owner. I found the architect. Like, I've reached out to different people. The mayor found the number somehow, reached out to the owner. So all we can do is really pressure by asking, unless there is a safety issue. There wasn't a safety issue until they disturbed the structure in this case. And I agree with you 1,000%. I wish we could have demolished this thing on our own. There's a fine line between how much of an overreach the government does on a private property and balancing the safety of the public. When it gets to the safety of the public, forget it, right? And that happened today. But I take your note, and trust me, I am someone who cares about property maintenance. So if you have any other of these properties, I will personally hunt down the people and reach out.
I don't get around that much, so no, I don't.
But if you do, if anybody does, I will put in the work to find it out. I have systems to skip trace people. I'll find them out, and I'll knock on their door if I have to and see what we can do. But there are limitations, fortunately and unfortunately, right? There's pros and cons to it.
And the second thing I got is Councilman Petrosky has been trying for 2 years to get somebody to do something with a tree on the property line in front of my house and my neighbor's house. He called the DPW again a couple weeks ago when I told him more branches had fallen into the street, and they weren't little ones. They were big branches. Trucks running over them, cars running over them. Someday one of these branches is going to fall on top of a car. And if that happens, I'm going to be the first one out there to tell them we've been complaining, and yet nobody came out and did anything. The councilman has been trying and trying and trying. I have talked to DPW even before the shared services. When I came over tonight, I took a look at the tree, and the one side on side of the street almost all the branches are now gone. That means the tree weight is facing the houses. And with all the rain, all the snow that's melted, it's not going to take a whole lot for that tree to come over. It's going to hit houses. It's going to take down the wires. It's going to hit cars. Who's responsible? Councilman, not putting you on the hot seat because you've been extremely helpful. But it's the people who are supposed to take care of it have got their heads up their butts and not doing anything about it.
Sir, please finish up, and I will be coming by your house tomorrow to look at it.
I'll be
again.
home.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank
County
you.
road. County road, so it's a county.
Yeah, that's what I thought,
Galveston Hills County Road.
right,
So that would be Shade Tree Division.
from county.
County. So we got to for county.
Ed Leonard, 504 Laurel Avenue. I'll keep it really simple tonight. Tonight is kind of a historic night, which you probably may or may not have realized, because this meeting tonight is the closest one to our 125th anniversary. The next meeting will be subsequent to that. So on this evening, Mayor, I commend you for your idea about the trees. I think that's a wonderful suggestion, and I do hope all the residents take care of it. You know, as I look around this room, 50 years ago, I was at the meeting on March 22nd, 1976, with Mayor Carmody. There were so many volunteers and so many things that happened that were just wonderful, and it really brought the community together, and we can keep working to that spirit. And all I want to say is I want to thank each and every one of you. As I listen to these reports over the last 50 years, it takes a lot of time and energy to do what you're doing. And I think too often you're not really thanked for it. So tonight I would like to just take this opportunity as we enter this 125th anniversary to thank each and every one of you for your public service. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you, Mr.
Motion to extend his time?
Yes, second.
Tina Shores, 117 Avon. I don't understand how you could say that building was safe. It had no roof on it. It was literally like 4 walls. There were complaints put in about it. I believe there was a stop work order put in, and it was only a matter of time before it fell down, but nobody knew that that building wasn't safe.
The construction official had been on site. They did put a stop work order for some of those things. I'm not a construction official, but my understanding is that the structure of it was intact as far as the main beam, the rafters, they were all intact, so the exterior walls were in place and it wasn't shifting. I can ask our construction official to give us some detail based on the last time that he was present, but he did not deem it at that point to be, and it wasn't. Again, today they cut some rafters and they were trying to secure it, and that's what caused that wall to fall. But I will ask the construction official for a detailed report as to what he saw the last time. You're right, it looked horrible, but I have seen structures without roofs for years. I used to go to sheriff's sales and buy properties, and it doesn't mean that it's going to collapse. It's just obviously it's going to deteriorate the inside, but the structure itself, from what I was told, was stable, that it wasn't an imminent threat to fall. I will get that report for you, Tina.
Did you ever drive by it yourself and look at it?
Yeah, I live on Bender Ave. I drive that every single day, going out to the office and coming back, and it looked horrible, 100%.
May I have a motion to close the public portion on any subject?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's no closed session this evening. May I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.